It is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. This is fielded at the goal line. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Everybody, go right in. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. No gain on this defense, no gain. Everybody, go to 54, go to 54, right in.
On the counter, Elliott. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
And not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
Block 54, block 54. And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. Then we're going to 53. Right there.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. This is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down at the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
No such thing as a loss. We taking win calls. We're going to 54. Right in. Get wide. No, hey, kill. 26.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
We're going to work. We're going to work. Here we go. Slide in. Mike 54. Drop deep. 26.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and goal.
There we go. Slide in. Mike 54. Mike 54. Strip the ball. 26. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. 3 bugs. Here we go, 47. Right there. 54. Right there. 26.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that. Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a 1st after a gain of about 9. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Let's go. Check Mike 54. Mike. We're going to 52.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Prescott. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. From 10 yards out. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Brett Maher on for the extra point. That's one of those touchdown tosses where if it's an inch to the right or left, it's not a touchdown. He had to put it right on the money.
Yeah, and how did he do that? Everything around him, everything swirling, all the coverage downfield. Somehow he spotted the opening and put it right there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now a give, right side. Carson, and this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Give them 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. On the crossing route, complete. It's Black. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
At the 26-yard line.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott from the gun. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Fielded at the 33. Almost out-kicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
Friday.
From the gun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Hey, watch that. Check right, 54. Go. 54. On the
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. They had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 18-yard line.
Right there, 54 Mike. Hey, here we go.
Here we go, 46.
Mike spot 4. I'm coming after you.
26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Going to take a shot for Gallup. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Prescott now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure...
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Push him back.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 23 yards the pickup there.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Prescott now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a first and 10.
Let him know. 47.
Here's Prescott going for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a third down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Prescott to throw this time. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Wilson now throwing on 3rd and long. And he's got his target. That's more. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The end result, 21 yards. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To try again after the sack. Wilson, wide open receiver, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Completes it to Dixon. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
A big play there. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? Prescott to throw it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on 1st down. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Right there, 54 Mike.
Hey, kill! 47.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Brings up 2nd and ball.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
Here we go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Right there.
looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, rush coming, and he's taken down. Jalen Smith able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Here we go. Mike 54.
Wilson operating from the gun. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
You got nothing.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chunking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The deep
blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Randy Gregory able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at about the 14. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense, and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
27 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
10th carry now for Elliott. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tyrone Crawford just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here we go, 47.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here now, Brett Maher. He hit from 62 in his rookie season of 2018. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
At their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He'll run it. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
Watch 54, watch 54. Hey, me and you all day, all
coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Here's Wilson. He's got Lockett. The 30. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. From the 31, Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about...
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Will Dissly, his third touchdown now on the year. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will get him one closer. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that you might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let him...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all, and it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Prescott. And a little floater there is incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the first down. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Marr able to put this one through, and that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
At the 20-yard line.
Kidnatty!
54 Mike.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And now look at this, big gain but a fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go. Wide 80.
Check Mike 54. Mike 50.
Here we go, going to 53.
Ready for this, man.
Here we go, going to 54, going to 54. Wide 80.
Y'all playing the wrong football. Whip.
Here we go. 26.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Room to run inside the 40. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. Second down.
Brings up second down at the 39-yard line.
Here we go. Wide 80.
Check. Watch 54, watch 54. I'm scared.
26.
Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting his way through contact. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
Seahawks 14.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Now Wilson on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off Byron Jones.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
Check, 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 check.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And an alley to run. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Double tight. Hey. 4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
A loss of a yard. It's fourth down.
So on fourth down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Rashad Penny on the return. The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 44-yard line.
First down.
And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys,
ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? This be the green light, go! Tires burn the paint. People wanna know what makes possible Dave win. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, ahead, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right thread, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up, giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we